Palace won the FA Cup despite Dean Henderson handling the ball outside the area. That put them into the Europa League. They then have a multi-club ownership with Lyon and Eagle Holding Football. Lyon got into the Europa League on the last day of the season because a loaned player from Forest in Strasbourg gave away a penalty in the 99th minute, got sent off, and pushed Lyon up into that position. As Lyon finished ahead, and as Palace didn't do the required paperwork to get them into Europa, they were chucked out, mate. They were chucked out. They were chucked down to the Conference League. And because of that, Forest, just by standards and all of this, Errol, we just got pushed up into the Europa League. And all summer, Dee's been crying.
Wait a minute, what? So as a result of them getting pushed down, you got upgraded?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Me and Billy, the Midlands boys, man. We're in the Europa next season. See you in the final, Billy.
Don't include me. I was in the Europa every day of the week.
I was in it pretty much the whole summer.
I was with the whole narrative up until the point where he said now Forest have been promoted as a result.
Yeah.
That seems dark. Well,
why is that dark? Why is that dark? If City had won the FA Cup, the reason that happened, Errol, is because if City had won the FA Cup, then the position goes back into the league. So technically speaking, what happened was because Palace tried to cheat, they ended up relinquishing the position into the league.
How did we try to cheat? How's that cheating?
Breaking the rules then.
How many transfers have you and John Texer done? And how many transfers have we and John Texer done between these multi-club ownership models?
You've done transactions at least.
No. Go on, answer. Don't say.
Hold on. What's that got to do with anything?
In fact, Potts. When I speak to this guy, I want this on the screen as well. Put it on the screen because I'd like to speak to him with this, so he gets reminded who he sports. Because he talks like he's on top of the fish. Put this on the screen. Because when I talk to him, I want him and other Forest fans to realize who they are. So, when is the last time? This is the only way to address this guy because he talks like he's supposed to City or Chelsea or one of these big clubs. You just have to realize your place in fish. You're small fish. You're small fish in this. So, anyways, how many transfers have we done in this multi-club ownership model? Because you lot love talking about emails.
O'Brien, bro. What are you saying to me?
Jake O'Brien to Lyon. You lot, on the other hand, probably over 10, 15 transfers between Lyon, Botafogo. In fact, let me speak now. You spoke.
Name them.
You spoke. I didn't interrupt you. I didn't interrupt you when you spoke. So, in fact, most recently, you just done a transfer between Matt Turner, between Forest and Lyon, and then afterwards, the transfer got cancelled. Forest are known to be a dodgy club. Forest
no, it didn't. I got cut you off. Don't spit your lies out. It didn't
I'm not spitting my lies. Forest.
They had to get the lawyers in, bro. It was been off.
Did it get cancelled? Whoa. Did it get cancelled?
Okay, am I going to talk?
Just don't lie.
No, I'm not lying. Hold up. You didn't let me land my point. Did Forest not get points deduction for cheating and breaking rules?
Yeah, exactly. Did we get punished? Did we get punished?
So all this stuff about us cheating, we haven't actually cheated. We haven't broken no rules. You have literally broken rules. You literally luckily stayed up a few seasons ago. But one season of good football has got you all hyped up like you're that team. I'll be honest with you. Go look at your 7-8 games. Look at the last 2-3 months. We've won more trophies than you scored goals in pre-season. In the last 2-3 months, we won the FA Cup and the Community Shield. You've only scored 1 goal in the last 7-8 games. But you're on here talking to me like you're that team. Why are you playing a double act? Because on your channel, you're the one that's crying. You're saying, oh, wait, Nuno, we're going to get worried. But then on here, you're putting your hand up on stream when you're talking about, could Forest compete to win the league? As I said to you, Wolfie, this game works with others, but it's not going to work with me. Because you've literally been proven to be cheaters and got points for the deduction. We've literally won more trophies than you scored goals in the last 2-3 months. Mm-hmm. And the only reason why you're playing in the Europa League is because your owner's a snitch. But the funny thing is, that's not going to change anything about us because us playing in the Conference League, if you asked me a year ago to now, would I rather play in the Europa League? 100%. I don't know what Palace fan would rather play in the Conference than Europa League. But if you asked me a year ago, which Palace haven't played in any European competition, would I take the Conference League? Yes. Conference League, FA Cup, Community Shield. I would have never imagined this. Never imagined it. So I'm still happy about the situation. But in all honesty, this might sound salty, but I genuinely mean it. I hope for everyone, for football's sake, Forest get relegated because you lot have been a dodgy club. I really hope that. I really hope that because no. The reason because
Right, time from AFC,
Put the gun down. Put the gun down, D, man. Put the gun down.
Hold up. I haven't finished my point. Since the 2000s, Forest are known to be a championship club. They're known to be a championship club, but apparently Forest won the Champions League back when Wolfie wasn't even alive, and now all of a sudden,
twice.
It doesn't matter, Wolfie. We don't care about when TV was black and white and what you've done there.
Bro, you've forgotten the playoff trophy. Remember the playoffs? The playoffs, remember that?
Yeah, they beat Norwich in the playoffs. That's what they're known
They
for.
won it. It wasn't Norwich.
Comes on here and he talks like he supports that team. Wolfie, you have that team that you support. Were that team when you're alive, but they're not that good right now. They're not that good right now. And the only reason why you're not playing in the Conference League and Europa League, which you bought the Champions League as well, is because of snitching. But as I've said, I'm very happy. I'm actually so tired today as well because I celebrated the Community Shield. I celebrated the FA Cup. I think Liverpool are a great side, but the fact how we played in the second half against all of those attackers, I think is a credit to Glasner and the team. And I feel like we've got more in our locker to go and win. Have you even got goals in your locker, let alone wins? Because you've only got 1 goal in the last 7-8 games. But you want to talk here, talking like you're going to win the Europa League. You ain't winning Nish next year, or the year after, unless you get relegated to the Championship. And that's the reality. So next time you come for my football club for cheating, check your mirrors, because you've been accused of cheating. We haven't operated in a multi-club model. John Texter has been literally on public record talking about he has no decisive influence, and he's been trying to sell his shares. If a guy trying to sell his shares, you can't put your shares in a blind trust because you can't sell those shares.
Lies.
That's the reason why it didn't happen.
Whoa, stop. You can't sell. Hold on, D. You can't sell shares when they're in a blind trust. Are you sure?
That's what John Texas said.
Oh,
I don't know. You should know better.
You believe?
You should know better than me. Educate me. You should know better than me because John.
You can sell shares in a blind trust, Habibi. You can sell your shares in a blind trust. And
so why did John Texter say that?
Okay, so now you do trust John Texter. Do you trust him or not? Do you like him or hate him? Which one is it?
I don't like him. No one likes him.
Oh, but you trust when he says he couldn't sell his shares in a blind trust, yeah?
Well, then he was lying.
Because he was lying to you. And you're stupid enough to believe it.
He's a dodgy guy. He's a dodgy guy. But that's the thing. 2 dodgy people love working with each other. That's why Marion Knackers and John Texas done so much business.
At least they know how to check an email, bro. At least they know how to check an email.
That's what it is. And that's what I'm saying. Next season is going to be humbler for you because next season you're going to be fighting relegation. You won't be in these conversations. And when you do go fight relegation, I don't talk like my team is a top 6 or top 4 team. But the reality of the situation is, I will talk when I can talk. We have beaten City in a final. We've also beaten Liverpool, not in a final, but it was in a big game with all that. And I will big up my team, but you're bigging up your team based on you bottling the Champions League. You only had 1 good season in the last 25 years, and you want to chat on here like you're that team. Respectfully, know your place in the food chain because you're not that team. And
okay, you done?
And that's it.
Done? So you said Forest have had 1 good season in 25 years. You've had 1 good season in 125 years, bro. And you're talking like you won something big. Your FA Cup that you're there glazing about. I got 2 of them. Bro. I got 4 league cups.
When?
I've got 2 Champions League. I got a league title. Your FA Cup gets lost in my cabinet, bro. So you can go and you can show your armpits all you want, yeah. But I would lose your FA Cup in my trophy cabinet. I get that you might lose yours in your trophy cabinet with your little shields and that little ball you have in there and all these random, decorative participation trophies. I get that. But talk to me when you have some proper majors in that trophy, bro. And
the thing is,
let's go on to this decisive.
I got majors in the trophy. Let me reply to that. You said talk to me when I got majors in the trophy cabinet. FA Cup is not a major trophy. You literally saw it. Is it
as major as a Champions League and a league title?
That we beat. You lost at that City side that we beat. And all of these trophies that you're mentioning, were you alive? How many trophies have you seen alive apart from the playoffs that you beat Norwich back in the Championship days? How many trophies have you seen with your own eyes?
I just feel, that FA Cup trophy you've got.
Not the answer, though.
The FA Cup trophy you've got. Exactly the same as the 2 I have in my cabinet, bro.
No, I'm saying
whatever you want to put next to it, whether I was alive or not, D, you can try to run this narrative. I'll tell you what now, D. I'll offer you a swap. I'll give you 1 Champions League for all the trophies in your cabinet. Do you want to swap?
No, I don't want to swap because I witnessed it.
That's your small club mentality, bro. That's your small club mentality.
You know the reason why I wouldn't want to stop that? Because I witnessed my team win a trophy. I was there and I enjoyed that. You never in your life.
And it won't happen again for 125 years. I get it. I hear it. Enjoy it. Small club mentality. You're there with your Wiggins. You're there with your Portsmouths. I hear it. Enjoy it. Congratulations. I was the first to congratulate you and Rich when you won it, bro. But let's talk about facts now, because you're still going on about this non-multi club ownership. You're going on about John Textor without decisive control. Let me quote you from your own website, right? You've got it here. This is from your boy Parrish, who doesn't know how to check emails, apparently. He says, I'm delighted the search led us to John, who has invested significant sums helping to facilitate, rejuvenate the squad, bolstering and balancing the sheets, and enabling the club to finalize the academy. We look forward to working with John, who has a strong passion for football, yada yada. Then we move on to what John Textor says. He says, with Doug and Steve's leadership, my capital helped bring in Mark Gahey, Elise, and loads of terrific players. I was one of the 4 votes helping to endorse those selections. Is that not decisive control, bro? Is that not having any say? Or has he got the most expensive season ticket, as I keep hearing, in the Premier League?
No, we don't. We have the most expensive season tickets in the Premier League.
He does.
Oh, no, he doesn't. Because John Textor, talking to the Athletic, when he he put shares on sale last year, but then he ended up speaking to the Athletic, and this was on public record. He said that I regretted my decision to buy into Crystal Palace because I do not have the influence. Because John Textor has arguably 25% on paper, but arguably less than 25% of influence in the voting shares because of the fact that Steve Parish has a golden share. And second of all, Josh Parish and David Blitzer, they also agree with Steve Parish. So John Textor has never had influence, and that's the reason why he wants to sell shares.
Do you think his money had influence?
John Textor said
his money had influence?
Owning. By the way, those shares that he's owned, John Textor hasn't owned it directly. That's part of Eagle Football Holding, which other people hold. What
percent was that? What percent was that?
It's a complicated matter. Look, regardless of the situation, you said
regardless
now. No. You said we're cheats. You're proven to be cheats. You got points deduction.
You do know. You just got proven twice in the UEFA court and then in the CAS court.
We never cheat anything.
Oh, you never cheated. They're just out to get you. They're just out to get the small club. Is that what it is? Is that literally what you think?
Yes, and I can say this right now. If this was like a Liverpool, Arsenal, Man United, or Chelsea, or any of these other big clubs, you think this gets off? The funny thing is, today John Textor owns 0 shares of Palace. Even when he did, he had no decisive influence. And we got hard done by because UEFA wanted to prove a point with this multi-club ownership thing, and they're against it. It's all a load of nonsense. What, like even a blind trust thing? The blind trust thing is nonsense. Marinakis put his shares on a blind trust and is out on the football field crying with Nuno halfway through the season. If this guy has no influence, why is he on the field crying with Nuno? And saying, "Oh, why haven't you subbed off this player and that player?" It's nonsense. There's blind trust.
What I like about that, bro, is that you said you're the victim because they want to make an example of the small club. You've made that example. I would assume you're saying against the big club, which was Forest. So by that, you already know your role and know your place. And what I'm going to say to you, bro, is after today...
That's nothing about that. You're next man because you finished in conference place. It's nothing about you being the big club. You're not that team.
Okay, so why didn't they back the bigger club? Why didn't they back the bigger club if it's about big club then?
They didn't look at Forest and said, "Oh, they're big club. Let's go pick Forest." No, you bottled the Champions League and you finish in the conference place, and that's the reason why you're getting it.
Let Errol ask his question, man. Let Errol ask his question. Go on, Errol.
No, I just wanted to know. Take away obviously the Forest and the Palace situation, obviously, because there's quite a lot of tension over on that side. Is this the similar thing that was meant to happen to Manchester United last season? But they had, was it Nice?
With Nice,
and then they was allowed to play in the Europa League, though.
Yeah.
So doesn't he kind of have a point though, as a big club that might? No, okay.
Because it's about who finishes higher in the league, and Man U finished higher than Nice. Therefore, the lower team, the team that performed shitter over the course of the season, gets thrown down a position. So that's the narrative you'll hear from the Palace fans. Oh, Nice, oh, Man City and Girona and all this stuff. Yeah. The facts is, Errol, whatever way D wants to glaze this, he said to me the other time, if Marinakis hadn't put that letter in, we would have never got thrown out. Yet when I ask him what was in that letter, it's all he snitched.
He did snitch. He did snitch. The letter said that
Charlie? What did he say in the letter?
The letter said that Forest believed they should be in the Europa League.
You're chatting so much shit because no one has seen that letter.
It was on Sky Sports. The geezer was.
Oh, you mean the Sky Sports that announced it today? Oh, we have some bad news. oh, Crystal Palace,
sat there
oh,
this morning
Gary Neville
saying
got
it.
beefed with Marinakis and we hate Marinakis. No one has seen that letter, Charlie. Stop chatting shit.
So
Stop chatting shit.
so you're saying you didn't snitch then?
I'm saying no one has seen that letter. You don't know
yeah.
what he put in there. You don't know what he put in there. Okay.
Okay.
And forget the letter. The stupid thing from D is that I said to him, if
All right,
Marinakis
so Wolfie,
did not
though,
send that
on a
letter
level
in,
though, Wolfie, big man thing, yeah. Is that the dumb practice in football? The chairman submit letters at the end of each season to authorities and governing bodies just out of the goodness. Let's take away the banter element of it. Is that just standard practice, or could there be something in there that makes you think he sent the letter with a reason to send the letter?
Errol, I'm not saying what was in and what isn't because I didn't see it, so I don't
I'm
speculate
not
on what I don't
I'm
know.
not expecting
But
you to comment
my
on
point
that.
is,
But
Errol,
does
my point
that
is,
sound sketchy, or does that sound legit and above board?
yeah, but wait, here's what's more sketchy. If Forest don't send that letter in, do Palace not get called up for multi-club ownerships?
Again,
I don't
but
think
then
so. I
they
think
probably
it's
don't. They probably don't. But that's
So UEFA won't
that's not-
enforce their own rules
Nah,
until
I
again
think it's
tells
not.
them
I think
to.
you lot
that's
put
not,
UEFA.
that's not a Forest order. That's, you can't really hold that against Palace. That's not a Palace issue. That's an issue with UEFA and the governing body, and that's what they need. They need an independent
Agreed.
body that says, "I'm going to minute. You've got laws and legislations. We're going to uphold you to them," and that independent body should be doing that. But it shouldn't necessarily come from a chairman of a football. That technically, if whatever he puts in that letter, if he knows the outcome could benefit directly his football club, that's the game's the game, but that's kind of
The
like
game's the game, and we are
It's
speculating on the letter.
yeah, we're speculating on it. But we know that there was. The point is, we know that there was a letter, and in a world where there is a letter, it's been used. It's the art of
No,
war.
Errol,
It's the
Errol,
art of
what
war.
we know.
Errol. They wrote a letter to say to UEFA, like, you lot are great. Like, they didn't write anything about Palace. They randomly just wrote a
So
letter
what
to
did they
UEFA.
write, D?
They
What
just
did
said,
they
"Oh,
write?
how you doing,
D, what
UEFA?"
did they
They're like,
write?
Yeah.
What did they write?
Instead of fixing, they just send him a letter. Because in Wolfie's deluded world, and all these Forest fans that are deluded, he didn't snitch. They just wrote a letter to UEFA.
No. You want to talk about snitching? No, D, hold on.
Yeah. Oh, you know.
Hold on. You want to talk about snitching?
Wolfie,
Errol, just let me land this point,
No,
Errol.
but let me ask you one more
Yeah.
question first before you land it. Yeah, if you should have got into the Champions League last year through your own footballing ability on the pitch, does he write that letter or not?
No.
Why would he?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, let me land a factual point for you. Hold on, because D can speculate. Hold on. D can speculate all he wants about what was in the letter, what wasn't. The real snitch, and let's see if your standards are consistent here, D, was Palace, because Palace, in their case, named Forest and Leon. Stupidity, by the way, because just by doing that, it meant we were allowed to come in. We were allowed to cross question Parish, by the way. So when you snitched on Forest and Leon, and you did because it was public record, are you okay with that?
No, we didn't snitch. We went to court to prove our point that we should be ahead of Leon, who apparently multi-club ownership model. No, and that's not snitching, buddy. That's not snitching. If Leon
it's not snitching.
Hold up, let's break this down. Let us break this down. We didn't do what you done. If Leon and Palace are in a conflict of multi-club ownership model, we're gonna have to mention Leon in that court case because that's the problem. And if Forest are taking our spot, we're gonna have to talk about Forest. That's not snitching. That's called defending yourself. But this is the thing, Wolfie. You defending in your own little world with Marinakis and he's such a great. Look,
Mr. Marinakis,
I'm happy. Look, Wolfie, I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you. You're gonna be able to compete in Europa League, and let's see how you do. But the one thing that I can say with chess is that I'm confident my team will get far in the Conference League, and we might win another trophy.
I hope you win it. I hope you win it.
I wanted to get
if you win the Conference League, that'll be 3 times the trophy that you've won in the last 25 years.
Who's getting further?
Oh, yeah.
Who's getting further? Forest
Well,
in the Europa.
Palace will win
in
the Conference League. Palace will win the Conference League.